We've seen tough times before, and we pulled through. Because when we pull together, when Canadians pull together, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop us.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is facing significant political upheaval, which could end up with him resigning from his post. There is widespread speculation about his potential resignation as Prime Minister, as was first reported by Canada's Globe and Mail newspaper. As of Monday this week, reports indicate that Trudeau may announce his resignation as early as within the next 24 hours or ahead of a crucial caucus meeting which is scheduled for Wednesday this week. The situation has arisen from a multiplicity of factors, including Trudeau's own declining popularity, internal party dissent, and the pressing cost of living and a deepening immigration crisis, all of which Trudeau has failed to address. There is also the looming threat of incoming US President Donald Trump, who has threatened to impose steep tariffs on Canada. But it boils down to domestic politics. Justin Trudeau's anticipated resignation stems from mounting pressure within his own party. Following the unexpected resignation of Chrystia Freeland, the finance minister and the deputy prime minister, and a longtime ally of Trudeau last month, calls have now intensified for Justin Trudeau to step down from the top job. Chrystia Freeland's departure was prompted by disagreements over policy direction, particularly concerning the economic threats posed by incoming US administration under President-elect Donald Trump. Trump has threatened to impose significant tariffs on Canadian goods. Trump has threatened as much as 25% tariffs on both Canada and Mexico until both countries effectively deal with the illegal drugs and immigration problem into the United States from these two respective countries. Trudeau had to fly down to Mar-a-Lago, the Trump residence, last month to try and kiss and make up with the president-elect. Trump has consistently mocked Trudeau, calling him Governor Justin and referring to Canada as the 51st state of the United States. With over half of his Liberal Party's 150-odd members of Parliament reportedly urging Trudeau to resign, the atmosphere within his party has become increasingly hostile to the Prime Minister. This includes calls from various regional caucuses, including the ones in Ontario and Atlantic Canada, all of these places where Trudeau's party has had a long-held standing, at least in electoral politics, where they face some recent electoral reverses. These caucuses have publicly expressed their desire for a new leadership before the next general election, which is scheduled for October this year. Right now, Trudeau's party trails the main opposition Conservatives and their leader, Pierre Poilievre, by as much as 20 points in the polls.
This cannot go on. With a U.S. president coming in threatening tariffs early next year, we cannot have a chaotic clown show running our government into the ground. What is clear is that Justin Trudeau does not have the confidence of Parliament.
Trudeau's political troubles have been exacerbated by losing key allies. Chrystia Freeland's resignation last month was seen as the tipping point. She was one of Trudeau's closest confidants and a critical player in his administration. Her exit highlighted deep fractures within the Liberal Party regarding economic management and strategic direction. Another significant ally was Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the New Democratic Party, or the NDP, who has also publicly called for Trudeau's resignation. Singh's criticism reflects a broader discontent with Trudeau's leadership amid a rising cost of living crisis and an immigration crisis, which many Canadians feel has not been adequately addressed by Trudeau's government.
People are right to be angry. They've got a Prime Minister who's more interested in protecting his own job than defending Canadians against Trump. We've got a Prime Minister who's failed to defend workers from rich CEOs that the Conservatives love, who continue to rip off Canadians and drive up the cost of food and homes. The Prime Minister has failed. For New Democrats, it's always workers first and not CEOs. And not CEOs who the Conservatives want to defend. So will the Prime Minister acknowledge he has failed? He has to quit.
Jagmeet Singh's announcement last month that he would introduce a no-confidence motion against Trudeau further illustrates just how precarious the Prime Minister's position has become. Therefore, Trudeau is likely to recommend the proroguing of the National Parliament so that he doesn't have to face a vote of no confidence, something that was done back in 2020 and was also done in the previous regime of Stephen Harper back in 2008. Trudeau is also likely to recommend his continuance as interim Prime Minister until the Liberal Party can find a new leadership, which may take up to 3 months. Frontrunners for the leadership should Trudeau resign. It is expected that there will be a leadership contest within the Liberal Party. Potential frontrunners include Chrystia Freeland herself. If she were to reverse her resignation, her experience and her previous role as Deputy Prime Minister could position her as a very strong candidate. Mark Carney, the former governor of the Bank of Canada and the current UN Special Envoy on Climate Action, he's been mentioned as a potential replacement. Also, there is Melanie Joly, again a close confidant of Justin Trudeau and the current Foreign Minister of Canada. Anita Anand, who's the current Minister for National Defence, has also of late gained recognition and an appeal to a diverse voter base. And that's the case with Pablo Rodriguez, the current Minister for Canadian Heritage, who's also considered a potential candidate. Trudeau's unpopularity has been significantly influenced by his government's handling of pressing issues like cost of living, the immigration challenge, rising inflation rates, which of course has led to soaring grocery prices and unaffordable homes. These are issues that deeply resonate with Canadians who are feeling economically squeezed. Public sentiment has shifted dramatically since Trudeau first took office in 2015, when he had approval ratings above 60%. Recent polls indicate that his approval ratings have plummeted to just about 28%, which is one of the worst for any incumbent Canadian Prime Minister. In addition to domestic challenges, Trudeau's government has faced diplomatic tensions with India, particularly concerning the Khalistan issue following the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada in 2023. The Indian government has accused Canada of harboring terrorist elements associated with the separatist movement, which has strained ties between New Delhi and Ottawa. Just a few months back, both countries expelled each other's diplomats. They significantly downgraded the manpower in their respective embassies. And all of this stemmed from the fact that Trudeau in September of 2023, right after the G20 summit, which was hosted by New Delhi, stood up in the Canadian Parliament and made hitherto unsubstantiated allegations that Indian government agents were responsible for the killing of Hardeep Nijjar, who is a known Khalistani separatist.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
The Indian government insists that Trudeau's government has not provided a shred of evidence to back this claim up until this day. So Justin Trudeau stands at a crossroads as he grapples with internal dissent in his party, public discontent over economic issues, and of course international diplomatic challenges ranging from America to India. His expected resignation ahead of this week's caucus meeting marks a significant turning point, both for him personally and for the Liberal Party as it looks at an uncertain future. In any case, it could be a short-lived tenure for whoever his successor may be, as the Conservatives are expected to win a landslide come October.